Um, let's see. Divided by 3. X less than, is less than 5/3. X is greater than 5/3.
Okay, to undo division, use multiplication. So you're going to multiply both sides by 3.
Oh, okay.
Negative x less than 15.
Yeah.
And then what do you do from here? What's the next step? How do you undo this negative?
You divide it by
Divide or multiply. What happens to the inequality?
it flips.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make up a new problem here for you to work on. So I'm going to write it out this time though. 4x plus 6 over negative 7 is less than 2.
Okay. Multiply everything by 7. 28. Negative 28x minus 42.
Wait, okay, I'm hearing something I don't like. When you multiply both sides by the bottom, they cancel. You don't have to do anything in the numerator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Dang it. Yeah. Okay, so it'd be 4x plus 6 minus 14. 8 equals is it x is less than 2?
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. When you multiply by a negative, what happens?
The sign flips.
Right, so that becomes greater than. Subtract 6, subtract 6. So you get 4x greater than negative 20. So notice we got very different answers here, right? Divide both sides by 4. X is greater than negative 5.
Yeah.
So whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality. That's the most important thing to remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's kind of just back up a little bit here. This one's multiple choice. I guess you might have a few of those on your test. So I want you to solve and then tell me which graph is correct. We'll talk a little bit about how to graph these.
Mhm. Um, Three. He is less than or equal to 1. Would it be D?
Okay, so let's take a look here. That does seem very close to being correct or is correct. Why is this bubble here? Why is it a solid bubble? Do you remember that?
Because it is greater or equal to.
Less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Less than and greater than go with the not filled in.
Yeah.
And you have to remember the difference.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Here is another one for you to look at.
It would be 12, and then that would be 3C. So that would be C is less than 4.
Notice none of those are there, so that means there's a mistake.
Yeah.
Are there any terms that you can combine on the left?
Oh, no, you can't.
Well,
Wait,
what about this C and this plus 3C? What does that combine to?
4C.
Or C minus 10.
That would be 12.
Yes. Could you and try solving that from there?
Oh, that would be 3. So it would be B.
It is B. Good. All right. Looking for some more problems here. I found a pretty good thing for us to keep doing, but the inequalities do not have to be in just X, like they can be in C or Y or anything like that. Here is another one for you to look at. It kind of incorporates a lot of things we've been talking about. Like you can distribute in, you can divide both sides by -6. You have a lot of options here. Okay, let's pick the one that works best for you.
-24y plus 18 is less than 102 minus 18 minus 18 84, 24 y is greater than 284. And 4 divided by 24. Wait, I don't think I did that right.
Are you distributing the -6 in, or are you dividing both sides by -6?
I'm distributing it.
Okay, so it should be -24y plus 18 greater than or equal to -102. Is that
It's what?
well? Is this what you have? Does this match what you've got?
Yeah,
Okay, so you undo the minus the 18 first by subtracting 18 from both sides.
yeah.
Minus 24y greater than or equal to -120. What do you do next?
Oh, that's right. Wait. Yeah, you have to add it. Oh,
It's multiplying, isn't it?
yeah.
Multiplying. It is negative, but you're multiplying. They're squeezed together. There's no plus or minus there. There's a negative sign, but between the variable and the number, there's no plus or minus. You have to be able to divide both sides by -24.
Negative. That would be 5.
Okay, what's your final answer?
Y is less than or equal to -5. Or 5.
5. Good. Really good. Okay. All right. So you got to be very careful, right? You can't just so the main thing here is if you multiply or divide by a negative, you've got to be on the lookout for that. That's probably on your test. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Let's do like maybe 1 or 2 more of these before we switch to solving some systems of equations. This has variables on both sides of the equation. So you have to decide which way to move it? Are you going to move the variable left or the variable right?
Move it to the right. Oh wait,
So
no.
you're going to,
Yeah,
there's no wrong answer here. It's whatever you see. It's whatever you like.
yeah.
So
I think
which way,
move it
which,
to the right.
okay, so subtract 11b, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay. All right, keep going from here.
yeah. I think it would be 6 is equal to 4b plus 3 minus 3b. 3b. And then that would be 3. B is less than or equal to 3 or 1.
So is your answer C?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 6 greater than or equal to 3b plus 3. 3 greater than or equal to 3b. Yes, b is less than or equal to 1. Very good. Now there's other types of inequalities that we should look at and just, quickly kind of survey. The most common one that you'll see is where there's a between situation. Have you seen problems like this before where you have two inequalities? Or not? Or is it totally? So I don't want to cover stuff that you don't. Say that again?
We've done that.
Okay. So if like from here, you'd subtract 9 from both sides, subtract 9. Minus 10 is less than n, less than 8. Okay. And on a number line, you got minus 10, 8, not to scale, open circle, and you're filling in everything in between. Does that look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me give you one to try. That's like this. It's a little more involved, but all right. So here you go. I'd like you to try solving this, please.
Okay. Um, 2 is equal to 4x minus 2. So you would just add 2 to both sides, right? And then you divide both sides by 4.
It's-
And then you go 4. 1 is less than x. X is less than 16. All right, would it be 1 is less than y, y is greater than or equal to 16.
But you
I
just
mean,
said it. You,
4,
you
4.
you divide by 4. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I can tell you're tired. It's very late.
Yeah,
Okay. So there's another possibility, which is sometimes you see this where it's the letter or the word or. So I'm going to show you that here, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So the word or is critical. You've seen that in class.
yeah,
Okay, so you end up solving these separately. It's like, okay, m minus 2 less than -8. How do I solve that? You add 2 to both sides. No big deal. M is less than -6. Then m divided by 8 greater than 1. Well, how do you solve that? You multiply both sides by 8. M is greater than 8. Now this or is critical. The or means that they can both be true, or one can be true. So you graph them both. You graph -6, you graph 8, left of 6, right of 8, and there you have it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Because I think you will see something like that on your test, just sort of thinking about it. So let's have you try this one here. Multiple choice. Seem to do a little better with multiple choice. I think that helps to kind of look for the answer here. So go ahead and try that, please.
Okay. This is equal to 4.5. This is greater than 6.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that your final answer? Which letter? A, B, C, or D?
It would be D.
It is D. Good. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about solving systems. Okay. This was something that was pretty heavy on your initial review that we started looking at. Well, actually already did that one, so let me not do that one. Okay. We already did this problem, but we might as well just do it one more time here. I'm gonna put it in front of you. This is from your review. So it says by substitution. Okay. That means you have to solve for one of the letters. You either have to solve for Y or for X. Which looks easier? Does it seem easier to solve one for Y or for X in your opinion? Like, what do you see?
It would be easier to solve for Y because it's already positive.
Okay, so the bottom one is Y equals 2 minus 3X. And if
Mhm.
you recall, you take this and you put it into the other equation. 2 times 2 minus 3X minus X equals 4. So the previous equation was 2Y minus X equals 4. You just put that 2 minus 3X in for Y. And so then you multiply, you distribute 4 minus 6X minus X equals 4.
Mhm.
Combine like terms. This becomes 4 minus 7X equals 4. Subtract 4 from both sides. Minus 7X equals 0. And then you divide both sides by minus 7. So X equals 0.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you find Y once you have X?
Then you plug X in the other equation.
One of them. Any one, right? Doesn't have to be one or the other. Just could be any of them. All right. So let me grab a problem for you to try here.
Okay.
None of these are going to work. Let me look for another one. Okay, here is one for you to try. I want you to tell me if you're going to solve for X or Y, and in which equation.
Okay. I'm gonna solve for X in the first equation.
Okay, good choice.
So it'd be X equals -2Y minus 6.
Okay, so use that in the second equation.
Alright, and then
Negative 2y.
you would distribute the -5, right, to the all the.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then y plus 30 plus 4y equals 14y equals -28. Y equals -2. Plug that into the top. X plus or x minus 4 equals -6. X equals -2.
You have an answer?
Yeah.
What is your final answer?
X equals -2 and y equals -2.
Okay, now we check, we can always check. And if you don't have, if you don't have enough time, I totally get that. But we should check it. Like, does it work in the first equation? Is -2 plus 2 times -2, does that equal -6? And it does. That's a good start. We should try it in the second equation. It's -5 times -2 plus 4 times -2. Does that equal 2? And it does. So that you can always check. Now, it may be difficult to check, but you can always check. All right. Now you mentioned elimination.
Yeah,
Do you think you're going to have some problems? You're going to have to use elimination.
maybe. Yeah.
All right. Let me. All right. So let me see if I can find one here where you actually would use elimination. Okay. Yeah. Here's a problem where you actually have to use elimination. Sometimes they're not really elimination problems. All right. So you have to decide which variable you're going to eliminate, and the decision is made for you if one can multiply into the other. Like, can -4 become a 12 or a -12?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, if you multiply the second equation by 3, you get -12x plus 12y equals 36. And then you want to write the other equation as well. And then
Yeah.
you add here. So this becomes 5y equals 25. So y becomes 5 when you divide. Now, which equation should we use to find x? The first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay, they're both bad. There's no like real upside to either of them, but we'll do that. So we have -4x plus 20 equals 12. Subtract 20 from both sides. Divide by -4. So x equals 2.
Yeah.
Right? So here is one for you to try like that. I want you to tell me which variable you're eliminating before you get started. I want to know which variable and why.
Okay. You would probably turn the y.
I would eliminate y. Yes, I agree.
So it would be 6. No, it would be multiply both sides by 2. So it would be 12x plus 4y equals 60. And then that would be 9x minus 4y equals 3. Subtract that. That would be 21x equals 57.
The numbers have to work out. So if you're getting to a point where you're not sure things are going to divide evenly, you probably have made a mistake. What did you multiply the first equation by 2?
Yeah,
So that's 12x plus 4y equals 60. Is that what you have written?
yeah.
Okay, now you're going to add the equations.
Uh,
Now it is 21x, but what's 3 plus 60?
oh, dang it, that's right. 33.
It is 33.
All right. Yeah. That would be 21x equals 30 and 63 x equals 3. So if x equals 3, then you plug it in and you get 18 plus 2y equals 30. 2y equals 12. Y equals 6. So it would be y equals 6, x equals 3.
Okay, and you can always check. You can say, okay, is 6 times 3, 18, plus 2 times 6, 12. Is that 30? Yes. Is 9 times 3, 27, minus 4 times 6, 24. Does that equal 3? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you one example. I won't have you do one, but I'll show you one example of where you have to multiply both equations. So notice that like -2 doesn't go into 3, 3 doesn't go into -2, -7 doesn't go into 6, and 6 doesn't go into -7. So unfortunately, you have to multiply both equations in this example. Now you always want them opposite in signs. So you're going to multiply the first one by 3 and the second one by 2. You always switch the numbers, especially if they're already opposite in signs. Do you remember that from when you guys worked through this?
Mhm.
So it becomes -6x minus 21y equals -39. 6x plus 12y equals 30. You then add them up. -9y equals -9. Divide by -9. Y equals 1. Isn't that nice?
Mhm.
All right, now you go back. Maybe that second equation is a little bit better to use. 3x plus 6 equals 15. Subtract 6 from both sides. 3x equals 9. Divide by 3 and x equals 3. Okay. So those are all nice. This is more the style of your instructor here, this next problem. So notice that things are kind of mixed up. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Now you can work this out however you want. You can use substitution. You can use elimination. Doesn't matter to me. You have to kind of style, but this is the style of your instructor. So for example, you might solve the first equation for y and then put it in here. You might move the y to the left and the -18 to the right and then add the equations.
Mhm.
There's lots of options here. So I'd like you to see what you want to do to solve this.
Okay. Um, we got to substitute it.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay, so that would be 6x minus That would be minus 32. Wait, no. Be 2x plus 3x minus 18 equals 12. Plus 18, that would be 20. 30. That would be 5x equals 30. X equals 6. X equals 6. That would be 12 plus y equals 12. X equals. So would it be x equals 6 or yeah, x equals 6, y equals 0?
It is, and that works in both of them. Very good. All right, so you mentioned in the chat initially, the last thing I think is factoring. We've been doing a lot of factoring, so I guess I'll just throw a few problems at you. B squared minus 12c plus 32. Could you factor this for me, please?
Yeah. Factor it?
Yes.
Okay.
This is more like that quiz we did some corrections on, or at least we went over it. A couple of problems like this in there.
That would be 8 and 4. Negative 8 and 4. So would it be C minus 8 in parentheses, then C minus 4 in parentheses?
You got it. Very good. All right, so I'm just looking up for some more questions here. I want to kind of emphasize some of the things.
And you said it was very heavy on the factor by grouping in GCF one.
Okay. Well, here we go. We'll do one of those next here. We don't have a ton of time, so we'll just do the most we can with what we got. But here you go.
Yeah.
Here is a problem for you to look at.
Okay. Okay, so this one the factor. That will be 2x. And that would be x squared plus 2x minus 3. And then you would probably do 3 times 1, which would be 2x parentheses x, x, and then it would probably be plus 3 minus 1. Would it be? It would be C, right?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking ahead for some other problems, but yes, that sounds right. X squared plus 2x minus 3. Yes, that's correct. Good. Okay, I found some other problems, kind of what I envision your instructor likes. So we'll just keep looking at a few of these. The instructions do say to factor.
Sure. Two, right? So that would be 2w to the 4th
Good. That's the GCF.
So that would be D then, right? Because it's the only
Yep.
one.
Yep. Your instructor might give you better ones. Now, so here is I call this a grouping type of problem here. I know I'm kind of helping with giving you the multiple choice, but the reason it's grouping is that the 6 can't be factored out. So you pair it with the 1. And then you find two numbers that multiply to 6 but add to 5. So it becomes 6x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 1. You're splitting apart this thing up here into this down here. And you remember that you take the GCF of the first two? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you immediately write it over here, and you got to figure out what goes in the middle. So what goes in the middle of this problem is 1. So you get 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. And I suppose if you had the answers, you could also FOIL them, but that's pretty slow for that. All right, here, one more problem here. It's kind of like the one I just did. I want you to use the GCF in the first two terms, please.
Okay. And the GCF would be is there a GCF?
Yep, 3x squared. The first
Again?
two, just the first two.
Oh,
Just the
just the
first two.
first two.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this is a grouping problem.
Yeah, factor by group. Yeah. So 3x squared. And then that would be x plus 1. And then that would be just 1. And then there would be x plus 1. And then that would be x plus 1 parentheses. And then 3x squared plus 1 parentheses.
All right. Hey, good job. We're going to stop there.